It helped shape me into who I am today, and is where I choose to raise my own family. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that helped me succeed. The education benefits I got from serving helped me get my degree and jumpstart my career. The training and leadership skills I've gained from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people, help my neighbors, and look out for my community. I know that when my neighbors need us the most, my fellow soldiers and I will be ready. My family loves it here, and my part-time service means we get to stay here.
Serve part-time in the community you live in as a proud member of the Army National Guard. Talk to your local recruiter or visit nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this state.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. First round of golf's first major of the year. Zach Johnson, Chris Kirk, and amateur Noah Kent tied for the lead at the Masters at 2 under. Scotty Scheffler, Justin Thomas set to tee off in about 15 minutes. Rory McIlroy at 1:12 Eastern. Coverage on ESPN at 3 o'clock Eastern. NFL receiver Alan Lazard agreed to a significant pay cut to stay with the Jets. In his restructured deal, base salary decreases from $11 million to $2.25 million, and he becomes a free agent in 2026. Former Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, slated to visit with the Steelers today as projections on his draft position fluctuate, will reportedly visit with the Raiders next week. Vegas has the 6th overall pick in this month's NFL draft, Pittsburgh the 21st. NBA tonight, Timberwolves Grizzlies, 9 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Memphis is 6th in the West, Minnesota's 8th.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary, but it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of iconic casinos, world-class shows, dining, and entertainment. Las Vegas. With flights starting as low as just $79, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Las Vegas. Book nonstop to Las Vegas now at flybreeze.com.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
Never miss 1 second of Charger baseball with the Charger Zone.
Will Knowles has just given UAH an 8-6 lead. 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning against the number 16 team in the country.
Only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to the Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone as well as on ESPN Winchester. I am John Abraham and he is Joe Hunk. And we've got 2 hours straight of sports talk, goofs and gaffs, and all sorts of phone calls from you. 256-576-9777. Appreciate you hopping on with us, whether you're listening on the app or the airways or watching us over on our social media pages over on X and on Facebook, as well as the brand new Instagram that we've started to re-up with.
It's not brand new.
It's brand new to me, Joe. All right. As Tom Abraham was out at the Trash Pandas game yesterday, it was a day game against Knoxville. It was a beautiful day to go out and enjoy some baseball. And all that's going to be continuing on because they still have a few more matchups against the Knoxville Bears or whatever. What are they called? They're the Bears, right?
No, they're not the
What are
Bears.
they, the Cubs?
The Bears are the hockey team.
The Cub Bears? The Bear Cubs?
No. Let's keep backing up.
What's their Knoxville
What is a
team? Smokies.
Thank you.
Boom. Got
Thank
it.
you.
Took me a few.
The Ice Bears
The
are
Ice
the
Bears,
team in
yeah.
the SPHL that Huntsville may face if they get to the second round.
There you go. I'm getting my teams mixed up, Joe. There's a lot of teams.
And out of all the Knoxville ones, you never said Vols. Like, that's the crazy part.
Well,
you had so many options, and you
Vols
never
come
even
last.
said Vols.
I mean, I know where the Vols lie. All right, that lies to the college sports, and we might be talking a little bit of Tennessee Vols today, as we're going to be hopping in to some of the draft conversation. But we got a little bit more to talk about. Is of course the Masters has begun. You're going to be able to listen to some of that on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, but with all the local shows as well as all of the local sports that we got going into the playoffs. On top of that, going on over at Talk Radio WZZN with the Trash Pandas, there's just a lot to listen to. So just make sure you're dialed in for everything here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and ESPN Winchester. Appreciate everybody who's tuning in. And as always, the show is presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration. The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com. Joe, we're going to be hopping into a little bit of Jalen Milroe conversation today. His stock is slowly but surely rising. NFL teams are starting to really notice his athletic abilities. And on top of that, well, there's people getting arrested for selling memorabilia that was maybe fake. It was fake. And on top of that, also a few, maybe just one coach that is absolutely screwed in his college coach career has probably come to an end. But you had yourself a fun little night, and it was over at the Zambrewskis in the Ice Play.
Yeah, I am. I am working on. Let me look at what time it is. It is 9 a.m. I woke up this morning at 5:30. I am going on 3.5 hours of sleep.
That's all you need. Stephen Hawking almost only slept for that long.
Yeah, I mean, I look and I know that there are two times in the year where I am going to, I will voluntarily, is a good way of saying this, lose sleep.
Okay.
October, when Major League Baseball playoffs are going on, and I'm staying up late for all of those games.
Yes.
That's one. The other one is because of nights like last night.
Face off in the near circle, a 5-on-4 power play here for Huntsville. Puck rolls back out to the blue line. Dump it back here into the near corners. Charlie Risk with it. Swings it over to Jack. Jack sends it in deeper. Tries to throw it in. Swings it across to Jack. Jack throws it in. Throws it in. Jack Yannick with the walk-off. And the Huntsville Havoc. The winners 2-1 in game 1 of this best-of-3 series.
Sudden death overtime. My very first ever sudden death overtime on a mic. And I was right beside the bench, sometimes on the bench.
Yeah.
There was a possibility of me being even more on the bench, but I made an executive decision on that.
Smart decision.
Yeah, I was all I could picture the entire night. And if you are a member of the Huntsville Havoc fan cave, you saw the pictures. I'll put them out on social media as well. For those of you that are not, you can follow me at Joe Hunk. You follow him at John Abraham ESPN. How professional does that sound?
It sounds nice.
Good. It does sound nice.
Maybe a little basic.
But yeah, because it's your name is what it is.
It's a strong name at that,
If you
Joe.
want to complain about anything about your name being basic, talk to the man that's on from 12 to 2. Okay. So it is we're going into this game, and as we go into it, I had one of Lucas, who's the guy that we work with all the time when it comes to the broadcast.
Great dude.
He looks at me right before I start to walk over to the bench, and he's like, "Hey, you see that red chair over there, that stool?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "That's yours for the first and third period. I'll need it for the second just so that I can take pictures, but that's yours for the first and the third." And I went, "Okay, cool." And I looked over and I went, "That thing is right in the middle of the bench." I'm normally standing at the door of the bench.
Yeah.
This stool was dead center in the bench.
Was it just sitting on top of the bench?
It was sitting back where the coaches stand up against the wall.
Okay, so it was stable though for you to stand
it was
on.
stable. And I did stand on it during pregame because I wanted to test it out. I was like, okay, let me see like how I feel about this. Okay. Yeah. And then I started picturing myself standing on this stool and something happening. We're just going to say with the refs and making a bad call or missing a bad call. And all I could see is like Coach Stephan just getting so angry and trying to like have to get around me on the stool to go yell at the ref. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So as the stool's sitting there, Coach Stephan, all the coaches, they walk into the bench and I look at him, look over on the bench, and he kind of looks at it. And then he looks back at me and I said, they said I could stand there, but I feel like that's going to be in your way. He goes, "Are you going to stand on it?" I said, "Honestly, Coach, I was going to move it." He goes, "Yeah, if you could move it, it'd be great." And so Moulton thought that Coach Stephan just automatically made like an executive decision, says, "Yeah, you're not standing here." That was my call because all I can envision is like, while he's already angry because of something on the ice, which would be rightfully so, because there were a lot of things to get angry about for him last night on the ice when it comes to the refs. If you have that going on, and then also me being in the way and him not being able to move like he wanted to, I said, you know what, let's go ahead and pull back on this. So I put the stool on the outside of the bench and I stood on it for the first period. Second period, Lucas had it because he was taking pictures, as a lot of these pictures have already been put out on social media.
Rightfully so. He could stand on it for that second period.
Absolutely. And then the third period, I am thankful that I was not on that stool because I was up against the glass, hand banging on the glass every single time something took place. Had to have my mic off probably more than what I normally would because you don't need to have me on the glass. Okay, I have found this out. Especially when we're 57 games into this season and I have like been around these players as much as I have. I've gotten to talk with them. Willie's over here spraying me with water before the game starts. I had Weaver Vitali shooting pucks at me whenever I was standing right in front of the glass. Like, I mean, like, we're cool like that. I say cool. I'm a target right now. And so, I'm all about this, okay? But at the same time, I have never been on the glass for the game, and I have a mic in my hand, and I'm just like boom, 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 and I'm going, oh, let me turn this off.
Give him 3 booms,
I mean,
Joe.
Dude, I'm over here I am yelling like crazy. I'm getting so mad. I'm jumping up and down whenever at one point in time Evansville got a penalty because they fired the puck out of play on purpose. Mm-hmm. And everybody that was in Evansville is like, it came off the pipe. It was off the pipe. And it happened right above me. And I'm like, that's not on the pipe. I had the mic in my hand. I'm like, nope, that did not touch anything. That was 100% net. That's a penalty.
Dude, I hate that, though, because it happens in the NHL games, the video game.
Yes.
And they pop it over on power plays, always shorthanded. And they always just be like, oh, it's fine. Oh, it's fine. No penalty. You're just keep going. I was like, damn it.
No, it was. Now they did get a penalty. UAH. Huntsville was not able to capitalize on it that time around. We go into overtime, and I forget for like a millisecond that this is now like NHL overtime. Like this is playoff overtime is different than regular season. There are no 3-on-3. It's still sudden death, obviously, but they treat it just like another period of hockey. So Coach Stephan's looking at me. The players are going off the ice. Willie's not moving. And Willie's like standing right in front of the doorway. Coach Stephan is being awesome by actually waiting on me so that I can talk to him. And Moulton's like, so Joe, you going to talk to Coach Stephan? I said, look, Willie has 2 shutouts in a row. You think he can't block a guy with a microphone right now from getting onto the bench? He's doing a great job. If he can block every shot from getting into the net, he's blocking me right now. And so Willie turns around. He's like, oh, my bad. And then he just gets out and gets onto the ice. And so I got to talk to Coach Steffen. I wasn't used to talking to Coach for 3 times. I had no clue what to ask him. So I just said, hey, Coach, what are you going to tell the guys about overtime? Like, that was it. That's all I had. I wasn't prepared to talk to him for a 3rd time. I didn't think up another question for it that way. And then we go into a normal overtime. I said it as a joke, John. Sometimes I forget how many people watch us, listen to us.
Yeah.
Go back and rewatch. Because I joked and I said, Steve, it's almost 11 o'clock right now. We're getting close to Waffle House time. Like I said, we are getting really close. If this thing goes into another OT, which we hadn't even started the first OT, I said, we're going to have to make a Waffle House run. I said, because I'm already hungry and that All-Star special is sounding really good right now. So next thing you know, the fan cave starts getting in on it. And they're like, Joe Hunk's talking about Waffle House, and it's so late right now, but now I'm hungry, and I want an all-star special. And then I was like, all right, these are people that are watching on Flow, everything. I start to walk back up to Steve after the game's over with, game winner's over, talk to Jack on the ice, walking back up. Havoc fans are looking at me. So which Waffle House we going to? I'm like, how did you guys know?
There's a new one on Winchester. I mean,
there's a new one in front of my house.
You guys would have packed out one of the Waffle House. It's all right because you guys are packing out all the Waffle House.
Oh, my heavens. Like, I genuinely was sitting there thinking to myself, if this goes into one more OT, we're so going to have to go to Waffle House. Like, for the first time ever, I think I may have in my entire life ate at this Waffle House one time. There used to be a Waffle House at the corner of the Parkway and Airport Road. It was like one of the oldest ones. Like
the sign's still there.
It's a sign still there.
It just doesn't have the Waffle House.
Yeah, and so I remember passing that thing hundreds of thousands of times. I believe I've only ate there one time, even though I lived behind it for years.
That's funny.
And I seriously thought to myself, what is the closest Waffle House? And I thought about that one that probably hasn't been here for a decade. And that was the first one I thought of. We were almost about to pack out a Waffle House. We absolutely were. And I'm starting to think now that if this thing continues to go, we may have to start making that a little bit of a tradition if they do win, if they continue to win in the playoffs. I mean, I now can't shave the beard because obviously it's now playoff beard time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it is. It was an amazing night, and I will tell you though, this was my first opportunity in doing a game in the Iceplex. This was my first time. We were packed in there. I don't think there is another seat that could have been placed.
I don't think so.
In that arena.
I saw that back right corner. I was watching on Flow, and that back right corner, no seats, just standing audience, and I was just like, this is such a Minnesota hockey on the pond type of vibe. Everybody just wrapping around the actual ice
corner,
itself.
That corner you were talking about. I looked over there at one point in time during the game, and during the intermission, I saw some of the Havoc staff, and I looked and I said, I don't want this thing to come back here on Saturday. Like, I don't want to be here on Saturday. But if we are, that maintenance room right there, that roof on top of it, it's flat. Like there's some wires and stuff up there.
Put a ladder, let them climb it.
I'm like, can we throw some seats up there? Like, I'm starting to go, there were people on the steps all the way around the arena. Zambruski's was packed. People all on looking overhead where we've been doing every single Havoc hour.
So were they packed, and then the TVs were playing the game?
I helped them get the TVs on so they were able to watch the game if they weren't able to get onto the patio because they sold tickets to the patio.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had that going as well. The lobby with all the glass that is right behind looking into the rink.
Yeah.
That was packed out. Every seat was taken. It took me 15 minutes just to walk around the rink, get through all the bodies just to try to get to the bench, to try to get to where I was. And so at the end of the game, I was talking with Jack, and it was my last question for him. And I said, look, man, the question's in here. I said, I know this isn't 6,500, but how was this crowd tonight?
Speaking of unbelievable, I know it's not 6,000 fans. It's more about like 1,000 fans, but how'd this place sound throughout those 3 periods in the OT?
It's an unbelievable atmosphere here. I mean, it reminds me of Minnesota high school hockey, a packed barn, everyone's on the glass, and I love it. I know it's not the BBC, but man, our fans are awesome, and we're blessed here.
Dude, I felt like I was at like a junior hockey world championship.
Yeah.
Like it was so compact. Everybody was everywhere. Seriously, if we could have found a way to get fans over across the ice and to the other side of the bench areas where that open space was, we may have put people there. Like it was that packed.
Yeah. And it's awesome to see, of course, the fans coming out. We got Tara, we got Matthew hopping in the chat. They're already pumped about it. Tara was talking about it. It was an awesome game. She's totally exhausted. And you're going to continue to be exhausted because this is going to be the first round. I mean, and on Friday, of course, going to be in Evansville. Then hopefully not, but back in Huntsville.
Let's say
this weekend.
Yeah, let's not say that. I want to go ahead and just end this thing in Evansville.
But then you said, Joe, they're back at the VBC.
So
if they win,
we're not 100% on the schedule
okay.
on what it is, because there's going to be a Monster Jam that's going to be coming up at the end of this month, which unfortunately may mean that if Huntsville makes it to the President's Cup, that we're playing it back at the Iceplex. Maybe. I'm not 100%.
Just tell the trucks to wait, all right? Because everybody loves Monster Jam, but right now it's been Huntsville Havoc season all year long.
And I understand it. And I know that it would be amazing to have those games in front of 6,500 people. I totally get it. I know that there's nothing really going on at the VBC between this weekend and Monster Jam that I know of personally. We should be.
There's an opening, but who knows?
Yeah, it was.
Really knows?
And so I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Oh.
It would be amazing to have it back at the VBC, 6,500, the normal intro, the normal atmosphere, the normal intensity. Last night had a really amazing junior hockey world championship, like we're up in New York or we're up in Canada playing somewhere. Like it was an awesome vibe that I think the players kind of had almost like it was like a throwback game for them, where they felt like they were playing somewhere where they had grown up and even played D3 hockey with.
But here's the thing that I have with it. Okay. I thought the atmosphere was great. I loved hearing the chants and you could hear the individual voices. That's wonderful, but nothing compares to the VBC. All right. At the end of the day, it doesn't compare to the VBC, but regardless, you got to go with what you got. And right now the Havoc are 1-0 against Evansville in the postseason. So that's what we're going with.
And here's what's crazy. And I didn't get to talk about it last night too, because we have played Evansville 9 times before last night. This was number 10.
Yeah.
Huntsville had won the season series 6 out of the 9 times. Yeah. It took me until last night to find out that Cole Cece, who is the goalie for Evansville, is also the brother of Cody Cece that's playing for the San Jose Sharks.
Okay.
I had no idea of that until last night. And so I was sitting there trying to figure out, I was like, I wonder if Cody's watching right now. I genuinely are, because all the family members are watching on Flow. Now I would assume he's watching the Evansville broadcast, but I'm just saying, like, I'm sitting and wondering to myself, like, is Cody sitting here watching this? Do the Sharks have a game tonight? Like, I was genuinely curious about it, but yeah, it took me until last night to find out that Cole Cece's is brothers with Cody Cece, who is in the NHL. And what's crazy about it with him is that he was a part of the Edmonton Oilers team last year that got swept in, or not last year, but 2 years ago, they got swept by the Avalanche in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, it's definitely insane. And we'll be talking a little bit more Huntsville Havoc throughout the show as well. But it is a special Thursday. We do this every single Thursday. Joe, you look pretty excited for something or other.
No, he was there.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
He was there. They just said they saw him in line. He was there last night.
Well, there you go. He was definitely watching the game then.
Yeah, he wasn't listening. He didn't get to hear about us talk about Waffle House.
Oh, it's all right. He'll probably hear it on the recap. Regardless, we always get a high school football coach on every Thursday throughout the spring football season. So when we get back, we're getting Coach LeBlanc on from Westminster Christian Academy to talk a little bit about what his team is doing to prepare for the 2025 season. So don't go anywhere, because you're listening to the Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and on WZZN TV.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
Hello, listeners. My name is Jonathan Dunwoody, and I'm at Minuteman Press. We are a full-service print shop that is locally owned and operated. I have personally been handling direct mail for over 17 years and have a great relationship with the USPS. We are the only print shop in the area that is listed as a print provider on their website and the only printing franchise that can use their logo as our partner on marketing materials. We can help from conception to design, print, and delivery to the post office. And with our easy, secure online payment option, you don't even need to leave your office. Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Scattered showers and thunderstorms through the course of the afternoon. Some of those could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. Biggest concern there going to be the threat for a little bit of hail and the threat for some gusty winds. Otherwise, temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s, dropping into the mid-40s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky for your Friday. We are going to be cooler across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures only climbing into the low and mid-60s. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible through Friday afternoon, but that activity is going to be somewhat difficult to come by. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Let's go. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat.
We're sailing on a boat. It's called the Blitz boat. 2 hours straight of this wonderful trip. And Coach Louis LeBlanc is joining us now too.
Every single song that we could have played coming back.
Hop on this boat with us.
We on a boat.
And talk a little bit about what's going on over at Westminster Christian Academy. Coach, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing well. How about you guys?
We're doing wonderful. And what we've been doing these last few weeks is we've been grabbing a high school coach from the area to talk a little bit about what their team is getting into to prepare for the 2025 season. Of course, spring football, all of that good stuff. But some teams are doing it a little bit different. Tell us a little bit about what your team is doing to prepare during the spring season.
Yes, sir. So I'm in a unique situation here. We've got out of about a 60-man roster, I've got about 15 kids that are not playing a spring sport right now. They're not involved. So the overwhelming majority of my guys are in soccer, track, or baseball, even golf and tennis. So so right now the guys that aren't involved, they're lifting throughout the day, and we'll get a little bit of work with them after school. But primarily right now our guys are wrapped up in other sports. But as we get closer to exams and spring sports start winding down, we'll get together and we'll have some evaluation periods with them. We're in a unique situation also in the fact that we're taking advantage of the HSA's new rules that they had rolled out a couple years ago, where if you have a real game on week 0 and a jamboree prior to that, the previous week, then you can start your fall practices a week early. So we do that, and the trade-off is you can't have a traditional spring, which again, with 45 of 60 guys involved in a spring sport right now, that's fine with me. And so when we finally get them, we'll have some meetings and try to do some evaluation type things with agility circuits and some conditioning type things, and then take our 2 hours a week that they give us to do football. We'll maybe install some offense and defense and see where guys shake out and what positions they'll be, and get a better plan moving forward into the summer. So that's kind of what we've been doing, the formula we've been using for the past few years, and it's been a good one for us in the circumstances that we operate under.
Well, and Coach, you mentioned the installing offense and defense. Like, I know this is the way things kind of happen now in 2025 is you were looking for a defensive coordinator. You literally have to put out, like, you send a post out on X and you send it out to, send all these messages to all these Alabama high school football feeds to be like, hey, we need a head coach or a defensive coordinator. I mean, like, how is that the main way that you're seeing a lot of coaches have to do this now to get the word out for a potential job opening?
Oh, yes, sir. So, so I've had to do that recently. And what I've done is I've contacted, online, I've contacted like maybe some coaches associations in different states that have job boards. Obviously the HSA has one. And then there's some good Twitter handles out there that coaches go to find listings. And we've been fortunate to have some qualified people that have contacted us, and developed some good relationships there. But it is different, and I had a coach even call me. He had gotten a Google alert that we were looking for a coach. And I don't know how that happened. I didn't post anything with Google, but he got an alert one morning, called me. And so anyway, it's amazing what happens out there with the World Wide Web. But Twitter seems to be the place to go and to be able to get things communicated quickly and shared with people all over the place. I've gotten calls from people as far as Oregon, and even a guy that's, believe it or not, is in Sweden, and he's looking to return to the States. He's been coaching a club American football team over there at a school there, and he's a math teacher, and he's wanting to return to the States. And it's crazy. The Twitter, man, it's out there. X, it's out there.
Okay, hold up. Like, so, I mean, like, he understood that. I mean, again, no offense, because I came from a 3A high school, so I say he realized that he's applying to a 4A high school right now. That, like, it's a little bit different than what we were seeing like in Central Alabama, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was funny, but guys, just people have different. There's just different things going on in their life, and this guy was trying to get back to the States. Something unique is I've heard a lot from, smaller division college coaches that, man, it's a tough road right now for them with NIL and kids transferring and some guys, seeing what it looks like to get back into high school or to move into high school for the first time. and not having to deal with some of those headaches. And so it's the applicant pool has been pretty broad and deep, and but it's a unique time of year, and this seems to be more unique than any of the other ones I've ever gone through. This is probably my least favorite time of year because I don't like all the movement. I want things set. I want to have a plan and move forward. But God brings people in and out of our lives, and you trust Him through it. But yeah, this one's been a little bit more unique than other years, just because of how diverse the applicant pool has been.
No doubt. Coach LeBlanc from Westminster Christian Academy joins us here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And Coach, you talk about the changes that are happening in the college sports, and that doesn't really change too much from the high school sports. I mean, you've been in this job for long enough to understand that things are going to change almost every year, and you're going into your 10th season with this Westminster team. And talk about some of those changes that you've had to kind of get through in your time as the head coach for this team.
Well, it's really significant changes in this is my 26th year overall as a coach.
Yeah.
And so I think back to 98 and see the changes from then to now. And then just within the last 9 years as a head coach going into my 10th. And you see a lot of emphasis on player safety, limitations from the state about the number of padded practices you can have, and the amount of hours, even a week, that you could have of full speed contact, and then obviously mandatory water breaks and all that kind of stuff, all things that are great, for player safety, but things that weren't there 25, 26 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that. It's good to see, coaches having to be more responsible for, the health of their players and be aware of that. It also, provides new challenges for, how do you get kids to be tougher? How do you challenge them? How do you draw that out of them? And so you have to be creative. You have to really be intentional with what you're doing with them and how you're doing it. And I think more than ever today, athletes want to know why, not in a bad way, not in a disrespectful way, but they just, if you explain why we're doing this drill and why I'm doing what, I want you to do what I'm asking you to do, I think you get more buy-in. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of coaches are resistant to that. And I understand, I don't want to have to explain myself to kids, but if you explain it yourself in meetings and tell them what we're going to go do at practice, then I feel in our experience, practice has been more efficient, and we get more out of them, as opposed to just, tell them to just shut up and do what I say. That nobody wants to be in that situation. So, including them on what we're doing, let them take ownership of it. And what I've experienced is when they see the why and understand that, then they'll work harder on their own, by their own motivation than I will having to, threaten them or blow the whistle extra, make them run more, and so that's when it becomes fun. When it becomes a player-led team, and those guys they get it and they're holding each other accountable, and then coaching becomes more of a partnership with them as opposed to I'm here to be a taskmaster, and make them hate me. But so that's been a good thing in my opinion to see that.
Yeah, no doubt. And hopefully your players get to hear some of this as well. Maybe not right now because, of course, the schooling that they have to be doing. But I heard Bo Nix, he once said that, perfecting the boring stuff, learning to enjoy the boring stuff is what makes you a top-level player, because then you don't even have to think about it. You do it, and it's just repetition and routine for you. But, Joe, what do you got?
Well, no, and Coach, you were talking about the why, and I understand, like, the players don't get that. Look, you guys have a very strict schedule about how long you can keep players on the field, how long you go, and explaining the why is going to get in the way. But I was a why guy. Like, the moment you explained it to me, it's like, hey, look, this is going to help you with X. I'm going, okay, now I get it. All right, let's go. We can do it. And so I feel that way, but also we've seen this, and it's going to continue to happen with the NIL. Is you have a player that has an amazing season, especially private school. You have an amazing season, and you've got a player that's like, do I go from a 4A school and move to a 5A or a 6A to try to get more exposure in that? And you said it yourself, you guys are already dealing with situations where you've got track guys over here, baseball guys over here, like all these different sports. Like, how do you add that into the headache of a potentially, like, you're say a star player, then turns around and it starts to get those people that may go like, if you went up to 5 or 6A, we could add another star to whatever you're talking about.
Sure. So I guess for me, I rely a lot on my own personal experience. So, having been a graduate assistant at Alabama for 3 seasons and working for Shula for 2, Saban for 1, and seeing the recruiting process and hearing, how they did it. And I'll tell families if that ever comes up, it has very rarely come up here, but if it does come up, I'll tell them in 3 seasons at Alabama, not once did someone say, man, that guy's a heck of a player, but he's at a 1A school.
Yep.
Let's move on. If the talent's there, then they're interested, and so that's always encouraging, and to see that it's not just a 7A school that's going to put kids in college football. And now you get a great look at kids when you see them against maybe some of those bigger bodies and in those situations. But it's also something that recruiters break down. They say, okay, if he's at a 1A school, 1, 2, maybe even 3A school, I want to see this young man dominate the whole game. He's playing on offense, he's playing on defense, he's the best player on the field. And you get into these middle sections, I want to see him dominate his side of the ball. And then when you get into some of those upper schools, 6 and 7As, a lot of recruiters have said, I want to see him dominate his position. He needs to be the best defensive lineman that I see in that game. And so that's something that I've, that when I started recruiting, when I was at West Georgia, that was something I looked at. And then talking with my buddies that are still working in college football, that's what they look at. And, obviously a lower division, lower classification school, that athlete needs to stand out. He's that kid, maybe he's a quarterback, he's returning kicks, he's your safety that's picking everything off. And he's just noticeable. It's harder to have those kind of moments at a 7A level, maybe where you have more talent, right, to draw from, and your quarterback's not your starting safety kind of thing. So I'm able to draw from some of those experiences and have those conversations with guys. Fortunately, I've coached at a 1A school. I've coached here. We've been 3 and 4A, and we've seen guys, from all those schools, all those classifications go on to bigger schools and go on to get college scholarships. And I pull out, I've got a copy of Coach Saban's recruiting evaluation sheet that he would fill out, to have the staff fill out on each recruit. And I just show them that. I said, well, let's look and see where you fit, and what's your height, your weight, for your position, what's your speed. And I show them the things that they evaluate on film. And nowhere on that evaluation sheet does it say, what classification of ball does he play? It's all about what are his abilities. And then is he coachable? There's a lot of questions about the young man, and questions for his coach, questions for the player. And so that's just been the way I've handled it.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we talked a little bit about the changes within the coaching staff. Of course, that's going to come and go, but the same thing happens for the players. They go on to college, they start playing college ball, and then you got to re-up the team. Can you tell us a little bit about some of those guys that you're looking forward to pushing to be that next man up, the next leader, maybe 1 or 2, or if you got a few, that's totally fine. But tell us a little bit about your team going into 2025.
Well, as a group, we're really excited about our offensive line. They are more than likely we're going to have 5 seniors starting on the offensive line. 3 of those were starters as freshmen. So to see those guys grow, develop, and mature, and then just get better every year. They took a lot of lumps in the 9th grade, and then here they are as seniors. So we're excited about them. We feel like they'll be the anchor of our team. We've got last year we had a young man named Saber Kim. He's got a great name.
Yes, he does.
Saber was a first-year football player for us last year, and we stuck him at running back. And man, the guy had some explosive plays, and so his football IQ has improved, and excited about his future and what he can do. He's got a lot of natural ability. Very coachable young man, great family, and I'm excited to see what he can help us out in the running back position. And then Houston Scott, our quarterback, big body, big arm. He's about 6'5", maybe 6'6" now, and so excited to see having last year as his first year to start, and then going into his senior season, the growth that he's going to have, just natural growth, but then his football growth. And then we had a young man that got injured last year, had a high ankle sprain, took a while to come back, named Bryson Cumberlander, explosive athlete for us. We missed him when he was gone. And so having him going into his junior year, he's been a kid that has started for us even as a freshman and obviously a sophomore last year. And then losing him and then having him come back for his junior year and senior year. Really dynamic athlete, excited to see the impact that he'll have being able to be out there for a whole season. And so, I mean, there's a bunch of guys I could just keep going that we get excited about. We were senior laden a couple of years ago, and losing all those guys, we had some people step up and fill in, but some of the fill-ins were seniors themselves this past year. So we're losing some of those guys again, and so a lot of opportunities, for people to fill those starting roles and to make impacts.
Yeah, and some of those names you're going to be able to listen to and hear about more on 97.7 ESPN The Zone last year. Of course, Westminster joining the high school sports streaming network, which was definitely huge for the fan base as well as a lot of the family and friends.
Oh, yes, sir. It was definitely a great addition for us. And I used to love I loved on the weekend going back and watching the film. A lot of times I would play the radio broadcast while I was watching it, and it was just cool to hear the commentary and even some crowd reaction, that kind of stuff that you obviously you're not privy to during the game.
Absolutely.
And hear a different perspective too.
Well, Coach, before we let you go, I was researching and looking up everything about you as a coach, and I found this awesome family picture that you have with your three kids, and everybody that listens to the Blitz knows that I'm maybe about 3 weeks away from having our third, obviously not me, my wife, and really looking for a little bit more help on this because I've got 2-on-2 right now. And I would talk to Coach David Lloyd about this, and he says, now we got to swap to a zone, but you got 3. And I mean, you got 2 boys and a daughter. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, this guy knows about a hectic household. I need some help.
So I'd say I've been blessed. I've got a great wife. Shelly is amazing. And then my 3 kids, at school, they never get in trouble. Teachers are always giving me compliments about the kids, and I love that. And then we get home, and
Yes.
it's sometimes it's those kids are just picking on each other or just whatever, just sibling stuff. I grew up an only child, so
Same.
This is all brand new to me. And but they love each other, and I tell you, for us, it's just been consistency, and then consistency in what we're doing, and then also just taking time to making sure that we're spending time with each of them individually, because I don't want them to feel like they're getting lost in the shuffle. And so just what does that look like? It may mean I grab one of the boys and we go to Home Depot and it's just me and him, and I get a chance to talk to him and he's got access to me, and maybe he's wanting to say something to me that he doesn't want his siblings to hear. And so just trying to create those moments within the chaos, of having so many kids and going all over the place with their activities. And it is difficult, but it's, I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm excited for you, man. That's big news.
It's
congratulations.
Well, no, I appreciate it. It's I'm going to be outnumbered. My son and I are going to be outnumbered now, because this is now going to be our second girl. So now it's going to be 3-on-2.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because my daughter's birthday is actually coming up on Saturday. We have a birthday party. So last night while I'm working the Havoc game, my wife cleaned up the house. Again, she's 34 weeks pregnant, and she cleans up the house, and we've got this big little, like, this basket that's in the living room where we're putting all of our daughter's baby dolls in. And Coach, I'm not kidding. We walked out this morning, my wife and I, from getting ready, and next thing you know, every single one of those baby dolls that she spent all that time picking up last night were back across the entire floor. every single one
Dude,
of them.
she's just scouting. That's all she's
And
doing.
I'm like, come on. Like, this is annoying. We just did this. And now you know what's going to happen, Coach? And you know this because your wife's probably said the same thing. Oh, you're here tonight? Okay, great. Now you get to do this stuff. Since you're here tonight and you're not coaching, you are the one that's got to do this. And my wife says, since you're not doing some play-by-play for a game tonight, you're the one that's got to clean up. And I'm like, dang
That's
it,
right,
Coach. Man. Come on.
But I'll tell you what, people have told me over the years, when my first son was born, I had a coach tell me, you're going to blink your eyes and he's going to be graduating. And guys, he's going to be a senior next year. And I'm telling you, there are days I'm like, man, I miss those days where his little Hot Wheels were strewn across the living room and I'm stepping on them in the middle of the night and puncturing my foot or something on a Thomas the Train. And but you just cherish it, and then to be really honest with you, being in education, being around families a lot, there's a lot of families out there that maybe they've lost a child or they can't have a child. And so I just being reminded of that. And you just say, man, there's somebody out there that would welcome that mess, welcome that headache of picking up those little dolls. And I have to be reminded of that because I'm busy and my 3 kids are always involved in sports and you want to just come home and just sit down, right? You just want to just relax. But man, they're a blessing. And that mess is really dealing with that mess is really what's endearing that child to you because nobody else would do it, right? Nobody else other than their parent. Their parents can take time because they love them and work through those things with them where someone else would just leave them be, and let them go off to themselves. So this is going to be that moment those moments with that little girl is just going to cause her to come up to you one day when she's upset or she needs advice. And you're building that right now. So just be encouraged. There's a reason for it. I promise.
Well, and trust me, it's there are those moments after that where she walks up and she'll say things like, I call her baby girl. Like that's my name for her. And it was Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. We're cleaning the garage because again, baby's coming. So we got to clean everything. And so she's standing outside and my wife looks at her and she goes, Anderson, what does daddy call you? And she just looks up at me and goes, baby girl. And I went, tears started to fall. Like, I'm just like, yep, that was the first time she'd ever said it to me. And I'm just like, yep, coach, we're good. I'm good. I am okay with this girl dad stuff. I love my boy. He's about to be 7. I'm loving it. But man, that one right there, that got me, coach.
So my little girl, she just turned 10 and I get up early on Saturday mornings during the season to watch film. I get up early before church and watch film to try to maximize family time. And she'll get up and she'll come in and she'll pull a chair up right next to me at my desk at home and she'll watch film with me. It's the funniest thing. She'll come in all sleepy and she'll say, oh, film. And she'll grab a chair, pull it up and sit right next to me. And so I call her my little assistant coach. And those moments are, man, I wouldn't trade them. I wouldn't trade him for anything. So you're doing it the right way.
Thanks, Coach.
Be patient.
We were both raising our little Hayden Panettiere like it's Remember the Titans. We got our little assistant coaches right there beside us.
That's truly maximizing your time for sure. Coach, we appreciate you hopping on with us. Looking forward to the season. And on top of that, hoping to see you at the media days we have during the summer.
Yes, sir. We'll be there.
All right, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you as always.
Y'all have a great day.
You too, man.
Good stuff from Coach Louis LeBlanc, of course, from Westminster Christian Academy. Very excited to get to talk with him a little bit more, but we got to hit a break. When we come back,
I'm going to share this with you.
Waffle House.
Yeah, no, he's not kidding. He's really not.
Thank you, Steve.
You can take some of this.
The waffle. Yeah.
No.
That's a Brett Musburger's VSiN action update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
Scotty Scheffler steps up to the tee box today as a 4-1 favorite to win the Masters at Augusta National. Rory McIlroy, the second choice at plus 650. John Rahm, 13-1. Collin Morikawa, 18-1. Denny Hamlin heads to Bristol as a 4-1 favorite to win the Food City 500. Kyle Larson plus 450. Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, both plus 650. Chase Elliott plus 850. Trey Turner, a tie-breaking home run in the 9th inning as the Phillies beat the Braves 4-3 yesterday as a $1.20 underdog. Philadelphia today plus 105 at Atlanta minus 125, 8 under the total. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia if you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Temperatures drop into the mid-40s as we head into the overnight. And as we head into your Thursday, scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to build in across the Tennessee Valley, especially as we head into Thursday afternoon. Some of those thunderstorms could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. The biggest concern there going to be the threat for a little bit of hail and the threat for some gusty winds. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s Thursday afternoon, dropping into the mid-40s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky for your Friday. Temperatures hanging out in the low and mid-60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship Game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You are kidding. No, I wasn't kidding. I perfectly moved the spots around just for that. Welcome back in. Final segment, really quick segment before we hop into the second hour of the Blitz. Great conversation with Coach Louis LeBlanc, and Joe, you got him on his family talk, and he'll go a minute for that.
And trust me, I'm the same way with him, because my daughter, I know that when I start watching games at home, when I have to, she's going to be right by my side, because she's already tells her mom every night that I'm at a Havoc game. She'll look at my wife and say, FaceTime hockey, and my wife knows, call daddy, so she can see the hockey game.
Well, now a lot of the listeners know a little bit more about Coach LeBlanc and the soft side that he's got for his family. And, of course, you got to be able to separate it. Second hour coming up next. Jalen Milroe to number one.
The sound of the organ. The crack of the bat.
It is gone.
The sight of watching the ball go over the wall. And the taste of peanuts and Cracker Jacks. There's nothing like it. It's America's pastime. From the first pitch to the final out, you can hear every game right here on your home for Alabama baseball.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
up.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490.
AL certain number 21014.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Phillies topped the Braves 4-3 on Wednesday night. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Get clean car happy all season long at Tidal Wave with exclusive membership discounts, giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information.
Braves and Phillies with another back-and-forth battle on Wednesday night. Austin Riley went deep in the seventh to tie it up at 3, but it was Trey Turner, top of the ninth, doing the damage for the Phils, taking Raciel Iglesias deep. Raciel Iglesias gets the loss. Trey Turner, the hero in the series, is now evened up at 1 game apiece. Rubber game coming up Thursday night at Truist Park. Got a good one on the hill. Spencer Schwellenbach, he of potential Cy Young fame. He'll get the ball for the Braves. He'll go up against Jesus Luzardo, 2-0, 150 ERA, and 19 strikeouts on the season. Got a good one on the mound. Ford leadoff show coming up at 6 p.m. First pitch, 7:15 from Truist Park. And, of course, you can catch all of the action right here on the Braves Radio Network.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports and it's brought to you by The Good Feet Store. The Good Feet Store, for over 25 years, helping people get back to the life they love without their feet getting in the way. Start your journey at goodfeet.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Coming up on Thursday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we'll be joined by Alabama baseball right fielder Bryce Fowler.
The right field Rangers are awesome. So I'm not going to complain about playing right because they're super, super awesome out there, and I love having them out there. So.
Yeah, do you like some of the interactions you get to have with them? They're not heckling you, but you guys have a good time throughout the ballgame.
Yeah, we have a good time. As the game goes on, it definitely gets more funnier and better as the game goes on. Sometimes it can be a little quiet to start the game, just a couple, conversations here and there. But then, you get to the 4th, 5th, 6th inning, everybody's starting to feel good, and it's hey Bryce, which I love it. I don't mind it. They like to ask the questions where they ask you two questions or a question and it's left hand for one answer, right hand for one answer. They love doing that. So I'm a fan of it. So
I'll have more in a moment.
This is Christian Miller for the Good Feet Store. I know from playing football at Alabama and in the NFL that if you have foot, knee, hip, or back pain, it can be a huge challenge. The Good Feet Store is designed to personally fit you with arch supports that alleviate and even eliminate your pain altogether. Try them before you buy them. They're in your free, no obligation, personalized fitting, and you can wear them home the same day. So if you're looking to improve your game, the Good Feet Store has you covered. Stop in for a free, personalized fitting today. Roll to victory at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. Roll Tide.
Join us this afternoon for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, streaming live at 2 p.m. Central on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Ask and you shall receive. Inevitably, second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as WCCN TV, where we are all trying to wake up just a little bit after what happened last night at the Iceplex.
Yeah, how's work for anybody who was at that game last night today? 256-576-97.7 to get in on the show as we got a wide open second hour for a great conversation with Coach LeBlanc from Westminster Christian Academy. And on top of that, the Masters starts today.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Golf going.
And that's another question I want to throw out to our listeners. How do you enjoy the Masters? That is a very open-ended question right there. You can answer it in any way that you know how, whether you're kicking back with the brewski, watching at your favorite sports bar like Baumhauer's or even Full Moon. Any way would do. And I just want to hear how you enjoy the Masters and all the action that's going down at Augusta.
But last night's inside the Iceplex, you had 1,000 Havoc fans, jam-packed as one could be.
Yep.
Inside of the Iceplex.
Like a can of sardines.
3 periods through, we were tied at 1 apiece. We go into overtime is about 10:45 when the OT started, and a few minutes in to it, we actually thought that Evansville was about to put one in the net. When that OT started, they put on a massive attack on Robo. And you want to talk about the pucker factor? I mean, there was no air whatsoever in that sucker.
No.
And so you're sitting and wondering about it. And then eventually Huntsville gets on a power play. And then this is how the game wrapped up late in the night inside of the Iceplex. Maybe.
You got it.
I do got it. Do I have it? I know exactly what I did.
Do you got it?
No, I may not have it. I do have it, as a matter of fact. I just know what I did wrong.
He's got it.
Let's try this again and make it sound just as professional.
I'll cut it.
I can't really do that.
I'll cut it later.
Face off in the near circle, a 5-on-4 power play here for Huntsville. Puck rolls back out to the blue line. Dump it back here into the near corner. Charlie Risk with it. Swings it over to Jack. Jack sends it in deeper. Tries to throw it in. Swings it across to Jack. Jack throws it in. Jack Giannis with the walk-off. And the Huntsville Havoc. The winners 2-1 in game 1 of this best-of-3 series.
And that not only was amazing, the conversation with Jack afterwards about how fantastic the crowd was and how much that this actually just kind of made him just think about where he comes from and kind of the journey that he had playing hockey when he was in a younger age, getting ready to eventually get into this point in his life where he has the game winner.
Speaking of unbelievable, I know it's not 6,000 fans. It's more about like 1,000 fans, but how'd this place sound throughout those 3 periods in the OT?
It's an unbelievable atmosphere here. I mean, it reminds me of Minnesota high school hockey, a packed barn. Everyone's on the glass, and I love it.
I know it's not the BBC, but man, our fans are awesome and we're blessed here.
Yeah, Jeremiah said it best. Iceplex was rocking.
Oh, it absolutely was. But before we even got into the overtime and the actual play of the overtime, we were doing an intermission report. Moulton and I were talking, and to be honest with you, we were spent. And I mean, we were spent emotionally, obviously not physically like the guys on the ice were, but playoff hockey is 60 minutes of nothing but nails into the wood. Just, I mean, you are gripping and just trying to survive.
Gripping everything.
Every
that's
single thing. Like
anything you can find, you grip.
You were just holding on for dear life
like
and
me.
hoping that your team is going to be the team that ends at the end, wins this thing at the end of the game.
It was like me at the Haunted Mansion that one time I went to Disney, and there was just this random dude next to me, and I was just, I just gripped onto his arm. I was like, dude, I am terrified. I hate those rides that go up and then they just drop. Like those ones are the ones that scare me. That's what it felt like at the Iceplex last night.
And trust me, the moment that I saw the net pop and Jack had scored the goal, I honestly forgot that I was on the air.
Yeah, your mind went fuzzy, staticky. Is that how it felt?
I genuinely was, the only thought in my head is I need to get on this ice. I want to get on this ice. I am going to celebrate with this team. Like I that's all I was thinking about.
That was like my feeling whenever Sparkman won against James Clemens. I had to run onto the field. I was just like, I'm going
jumped
for it.
out of the press box to go. And so we say all of that because during the intermission, I was joking around with Steve Moulton, and I kept saying, look, man, the later this thing gets, the closer we get to this being a Waffle House day. Like we need and want to go to Waffle House. Yeah. So afterwards, everybody kept saying, so which Waffle House we going to? Which Waffle House we're going to? And I said, my wife would kill me if not only I just spent like 7 hours at the Iceplex for this hockey game, but then I also spent another 2.5 hours somewhere at a Waffle House just hanging out. So I go back home. And then John and I are sitting there talking to Coach LeBlanc, and out of the corner of my eye,
it was like an angel, like the sound of an angel coming down from the heavens.
No, I mean, out of the corner of my eye, this angel brings us the All-Star Special.
We got Waffle House, baby.
We got Waffle House this morning.
Officially.
This is right now. I'm putting it right here so that I don't get it on any of the controls. I will munch on that when we get into in between the two shows. And so we got Waffle House. The amount of people that I did not think would actually really start to say, all right, well, Waffle House is where it's going to be. If this is what we're going to do after every single win, then this is what we're going to do throughout this playoff. This may be a thing now.
Yeah.
Like I know we got it this morning, but if this continues and this team continues to win, I'm okay with going to Waffle House 4 or 5 more times.
It's definitely the start of something new. And I wonder how many Havoc fans actually did end up at a Waffle House by the end of this game, because it was one of the few places that was left open.
I know that I did not fall asleep until about 2:30 this morning, and I had to make myself. Like I genuinely had to make a conscious effort to go to sleep. Well, because there was no chance I was going to sleep on just sitting there waiting to get tired.
Yeah, you just got to give yourself a quick sucker punch to the face, knock yourself out, and then don't wake up until the morn.
I was thinking of like some other stuff, but I mean, hey, yeah, I definitely did do that. Well, just so that I could possibly fall asleep. So I'm all in this hockey world, and then you look at me and you're like, so wait till you hear about Jalen Milroe. And I thought to myself, oh no, I don't have to hear about Jalen Milroe. You won't believe what happened to me last night with Jackson Arnold. And I could not believe, like, it took me a second to register what got said to me.
Yeah.
While I was walking, because again, the Iceplex, to paint the picture, when I say there was a chair in every possible place, there was a chair in every possible place. Okay. Anywhere the fire marshal allowed a chair to be, there was. We had makeshift ice suites all around the boards. We had makeshift bleachers. Seriously, I joke about the maintenance room. That thing is flat. We can add some seats. I'll even sit up there if I need to. Like, we can do this. And I'm walking around the back end of the rink because I'm trying to get around to where the bench is. And we have a lot of amazing listeners that will just come up and start talking to us. And I absolutely love that. And I love doing it. And I'm walking past one and one's like, hey, man, love the show. I was like, dude, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. He says, yeah, I think Jackson Arnold's going to kill it this year, though. And I went,
hey, look at that, Joe. Look at that, Joe.
I gave him this look of like, say that again.
It's a tale of two sides, Joe Hunkapilla.
I said, hold up. Say that one more time. I said, wait, are you for real? And he looks at me straight in the face. He goes, nah, I just wanted to say that to you. I just wanted to say it to you. Just see if your reaction would be what I was hoping.
I thought it was the hopium. I thought it got to the fan, and I thought he was thinking, you know what? Maybe that John guy, he's right. And I truly believe that we might see a resurgence of this quarterback, but there's also a resurgence of Jalen Milroe as well in the draft stock.
There were 2 times in the night that I almost got a 5-minute major called on me. That was the first one. Okay. Jeremiah apparently is in the chat. He says, for the record, I'm an Oklahoma fan. See, so he knows this. He knows how garbage Jackson Arnold is going to be.
Come on.
He just lived this life.
It was his first year starting.
He just lived this life.
You can't expect every single quarterback to come in as a freshman or a sophomore and expect them to play top-tier college football. You just can't, Joe.
So
it's not always been that way.
There were 2 times I was about to get a 5-minute major. One was when Jeremiah said that to me. The other time was when the Zamboni came out on the ice and they played the song for the first time.
Dude, you could have prepped me with this.
No, I'm not prepping you for anything. Because when that happened, I looked right across from me at Steve and at Bill, and I just gave them this death stare. I don't even know if they know that I gave it to them, but I gave them this death stare like, we're not doing this.
Haters gonna hate.
We are not doing this. Okay. We need a better song. We need to go ahead and have somebody write it. I know that people in Tennessee are listening right now. I know there are people in Nashville listening. We need a better Zamboni song. Okay. We just need one. Second period intermission, they did the exact same thing. And I just look over there at them. We're not doing this.
Just double down the feelings.
I just kept giving the death stare. And I looked up at Moulton and I said, we're about to not have a PA announcer because he and I both are about to spend 5 minutes in the box ourselves because we about to go at it.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. We put this task out to the listeners, and to our Nashville listeners as well, because we know all the music that comes out of that place. If you could make a new Zamboni song, Joe Hunk would be very much appreciative, and we will definitely shout you out on the show.
Overtime came. No Zamboni song. Steve Smith, Bill, thank you so much for making that overtime just a little bit sweeter by not playing the Zamboni song. If this is not a Steve thing, this is not a Bill thing. Everybody that was in that that box that they were using, like you thought we were squished, the box that they were all in, the PA announcer, his stuff was sitting on like a high chair.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was on like a high top chair. Like that's where he was doing with a mic cord in his hand, doing what he did. Like this, everybody was squeezed in trying to make this amazing. And it was every bit of it. Every bit as amazing as what it sounds like. But when I was going through the entire overtime and I'm running around the arena because I was trying to find a bathroom that wasn't filled up with people that thought they were about to leave, I realized it, and Moulton brought it up during the intermission. He goes, Joe Hunt, we've only got about 3 minutes left. We're about to have the players come back on the ice. No Zamboni song. And I said, there goes my heroes.
Joe, you're the type of guy that wants a Zamboni song that'll create a mosh pit. All right. And that's exactly what that's going to happen. If you get the Zamboni song changed, Joe, you're changing not just the Huntsville Havoc, but you're changing history in the way that there's going to be mosh pits inside of the crowd.
And I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah.
No, I'm okay with it.
Why did I think it wasn't okay with
it? I would much rather have a raucous crowd than to hear that song. Not just, and again, this is not a Huntsville thing. Let me emphasize this. This is a hockey thing.
This is a national pandemic.
As much as I have learned to love this sport over the last 30 some odd games that I've done with this team, and the 30 some odd Havoc hours that we've done, and every single thing that I've done with this team now throughout the course of this season, the one thing that I would change is the Havoc having to play that song in the intermission whenever the Zamboni's running. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Everything else is amazing. I tell you every single time the lights go out in the VBC and I say, and now it's time. I swear I can't get a 5-minute major here. I get arrested. It's different. Hockey rules and real life rules are not the same, John.
Thank you, Gear Daddies.
Also, the song makes no sense.
Why does he let him drive the Zamboni?
Why? Why is that your life goal? Like, why is that your life goal? Like, I get it would be really, really cool.
Yeah, center of attention, cleaning the ice. It's very satisfying.
It is. And it looks amazing when it's done. Like, I had to, because Moulton again was trying to give me directions to the best bathroom while we're on the air in the intermission. And he says, "Hey, we'll just cross over the ice right now. All the doors are open. You just cross right over." The problem was the Zamboni had already went around like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, you didn't want to ruin it.
And so I was like, going between, I was like, it's slick ice, it's good ice, it's slick ice, it's used ice. And I was just like, I gotta walk. And then I have all the Havoc, season ticket holders watching me. And I'm like, I can't bust it here. If I bust it here, there's going to be cameras going off. This is going to be pictures all over the SPHL fan page.
The crowd will be heard.
Havoc. I mean, it will all be there. I was like, I have got to walk as carefully as I possibly can to try to get to this bathroom, because I was like, dude, my other option was there was an emergency exit right behind one of the suites. I was about to just open that thing up and just go redneck on it.
People wouldn't care. The alarm would go off. They'd think it's a part of the show.
Michael, who, by the way, Michael is in the chat right now. Michael is the one that has the cojones every single Havoc game to go up on the catwalk, go over to the podium, and lean over and take all of those amazing shots.
That's my guy right there.
The only negative to that game happening in the Iceplex last night was the fact that he didn't have a podium or anything to get up on above the rink so that he could have a crazy shot. If there would have been a hole in the roof that had been there just so that they could have like a ventilation system, I believe he would have went up to that and stuck his camera down and just like hung over the side of the roof to take the shot. Like, that's how crazy this man is. And he's amazing.
Yeah, Joe, we got a lot of stories to still get in this show. If not, then we'll carry it over to tomorrow. It's going to be a fun Friday, but we do need to hop into a break. Joe, if you want more of the Zamboni song, though, I'm pretty sure in the 2K9 hockey game, you can drive the Zamboni.
That's great. I would love to drive it. I just don't want to listen to the song.
Okay. Well, we definitely won't come back to it then when we get back here on the Blitz on WZZN TV at 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living then has mom ma. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. At Newmarket, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 2190 County Road 65 very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Newmarket.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
It just works. Picture this. You're at home doing whatever it is you do. Then the power goes out. Then what? Well, at my house, life goes on. We have a Generac automatic home standby generator from Current Electrical and Generator Services. For your home security and peace of mind, get a free personal consultation on how a Generac automatic home standby generator can protect you. Current Electrical and Generator Services. Call or visit us on the web at HuntsvilleGenerators.com. You've got the power.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Now is the time to sign up for the Eagle Installation WZZN Charity Golf Tournament to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This year's event is the morning of April 21st at Cherokee Ridge, and each member of the winning team not only gets the championship belts, but a full year membership to Cherokee Ridge. Breakfast and lunch are provided, plus tremendous prizes and a chance to win $100,000. Cost is $800 a team or $200 per individual, and corporate sponsorships are available. Send an email to 977WZZNevents@gmail.com to reserve your spot today.
Attention, may I have the camp's attention?
Your home of the college football playoffs.
Playoffs?
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Playoffs?
Just on fire! Just on fire! It's what we need for a Zamboni song. By the way, my mug that I have on what I would call it a mug. It's not really my thermos. I guess I don't really know what it's called. What's it called?
Tankard?
No, it's what I'm getting my drinks out of. It's what I drink my Amino out of every
water bottle.
single one. It's not a water bottle. It's a blender bottle. That's a blender bottle.
There you go. It's your workout blender bottle.
So I every single night I sit there and I get a refill on my drink as during the game is going along because I'm talking so much. Forgot to empty this thing before this morning, so this is Havoc Powerade right now.
Oh,
drinking still from last night.
Very nice.
I found it. I found the right hallway. And I found where their drinks were. And I was like, I'm so getting one of these.
There you go.
So yeah, so this is Havoc Powerade that I'm drinking right now from the win last night, which again is still ice blue. You don't want to break a good thing right now, so never change the color, but it is still ice blue. And I've gotten so used to drinking this now that I may get my wife to do it just for when we're at baseball games, just because I'm so used to now drinking the ice blue Powerade.
Well, there you go. I'm glad you can carry last night over into today as you were continuing to drink that. But Joe, we're already getting people that are reacting to the Zamboni comments.
Thank you.
I mean, it's only took us 2 shows to where we've complained about the Zamboni song. Not me personally, you. But
it's 1,000.
Dude, in 2K9, I'm not 100% sure what the song is that they play whenever it's intermission and you're driving the Zamboni, but I'm pretty sure it's the Zamboni song. So it is embedded into all things hockey, Joe.
The Zamboni song was on the D2 Mighty Ducks soundtrack back in like 1993.
I don't doubt it, dude. I think that's where it came from.
I genuinely have no clue when this song was written. I have no clue of the guy that did write it. I know nothing about it. I just know that every single time those tires hit the ice, that song starts to play.
I want to drive the Zamboni.
Well, I went down to the low. I mean, it's automatic.
Saloon.
No, it's not a saloon. It's an arena.
Yeah.
So Michael said, was talking, and again, Michael, as well as all the photographers that are around the rink every single game, taking all the pictures that they do throughout a night. Absolutely amazing. Michael is a literal daredevil.
I mean, I'm not kidding. That man will go anywhere to get an amazing shot.
Me and him would be good friends.
Oh,
photography, doing Daredevil type stunts,
he has
bro.
a majestic beard too. I mean, it's like it's not ZZ Top. It's not like down to like his chest, but I mean, he's got this nice majestic beard.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, he's the one that goes up on the catwalk every single game and he gets those shots. But he was the one that if you've seen my stories on Instagram or anything like that, that has the picture of Jack celebrating his game winner. I'm in the background with just my hands up in the air like this. Like I'm just like, yes.
Yippee!
And then my thought was, I gotta get on the ice. I gotta get on the ice. Like that's all I gotta think about. And so Michael is the one that actually took that picture. And so thank you so much for that. May mess up her name. Is it Tawana? I want to say that if I mess that up, Tawana, I am so very sorry. But she says, I think an upbeat Zamboni song would be great.
Okay.
So as that was being said, Steve Moulton walks in here and says, hey, I just had somebody shoot me a message and told me to hand this to you.
Oh, this better be good, Joe, because I'm not getting rid of the original Zamboni song for something mid.
I have not listened to this. Only thing I was told was it is a Zamboni song remix.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not even saying this is the option. I'm not going to send this to the Havoc and be like, hey, can you save over that other one?
But this is the possibilities of what we can have.
This is a nominee that has been sent to me. Right. I'm not saying it is the nominee, but this is a nominee.
Give it to us.
Okay. It's still is. I think it's going to do this for a few more seconds.
There's a lot of buildup.
Oh. Okay. We're still building up.
Like a 2000.
So maybe we need to stop. We need to shorten the intro.
The 2010 opening to a YouTube video, Joe.
Okay, hold on. I think we're about to get somewhere.
I mean, it hits.
Oh my heavens!
I thought my humor was broken.
Oh my heavens! I mean, that is some straight techno stuff. Hold on, what's over here? Hold on, because I see some other parts of the song that jump. I'm just gonna jump around in this song now. That's all I'm gonna do.
All right, what we got?
I want to see. Okay, that was not what I was expecting.
I mean, this would be a mosh pit.
Okay,
especially at the Iceplex.
All right, so let me see. Let's see what this part is.
I'm cutting this one, Joe. I'm cutting this one.
Look,
no, that's not the next option.
No, I know. It's not amazing, okay? But at least it's somebody thinking different. That's all I'm saying.
I guess.
It's at least it's somebody thinking different.
That's the thing, though, Joe. When you got something good, and then it gets to the point where it is a mainstay for the sport, you can't just come back and be like, oh, here's a average song. You got to have a song that is just as culturally inspiring. That right there was a lot of noise.
It was a lot of noise.
So
I'm not saying it.
It's just a nominee. It's just a nominee.
This is from somebody named Noah, and no offense to Noah, but that's a no. But I appreciate the effort. Yeah, okay?
Noah Fence.
Noah made an amazing effort the same way that Cody Cece made an amazing effort last night. Okay, because I didn't even know the man was in the hockey rink last night.
That's pretty cool.
And if you don't know who it is, Cole Cece is the goalie for Evansville, and had a tremendous game last night. I know he gave up 2 goals, but the last one was literally like he was dying trying to stop it. And there were multiple times where this man was rolling around on the ice to try to stop the puck from flying around. So last night or the other night, we found out that Cody Cece, who now plays for the Dallas Stars. He was with the Sharks earlier this season, but just got traded a couple of months ago to the Dallas Stars, was actually at the Iceplex last night watching his brother play in this first round game. It's kind of cool when you think about it. And so my first thought process is like, oh, dang, did he get traded to Dallas and he's like injured? Like, what's going on? Like, was he a clean cut? Like, you know what? I'm not clean cut, but like, he was a healthy scratch. What was going on with this? Cody Cece played 2 nights ago against Vancouver in their overtime loss. Cody Cece played against Minnesota about 4 nights ago in their OT loss there. The Stars are hosting the Winnipeg Jets tonight back in Dallas. Cody Cece literally flew from Dallas to Huntsville for this game last night and flew back either last night or this morning to make sure that he made it there for morning skate for the Stars.
You act like you're surprised by
Dude,
this.
it's amazing to
This
me.
is something that has happened in Huntsville more than we can even think of. Deion Sanders came to watch his daughter at Alabama A&M. It's first off, it's a beautiful place to come to.
But it was when the season was over. Like his season was over. That was the thing. And he even said,
"Oh yeah,
hey, look, I'm not gonna be able to really watch you there." They're in the middle of 2 games.
You think that his season is ever truly over? A college coach at this time, especially Deion Sanders of all people, you think he's got time to go out and just go to any random person's game? No. But if it's his daughter or if it's family, that's a different story. And that's the same thing we're seeing with Cece's brother. We also have another Zamboni song.
Oh, yes. This is now becoming...
This one's more your jam.
Send it. Send it.
Zamboni. I'm like, most of these guys for the Road Hammers actually look exactly like you too.
Oh, are they all guys with beards and mohawks and crazy hair? And it looks like they're either playing on a curling team up in Canada or they're a beer league hockey team.
All beer league hockey for
see,
sure.
This is what we need. Send it. Send it over.
Zamboni. That's a good one right there.
This is what we need. Okay, that's a real contender for the Zamboni song. Okay,
That's good. That's good.
And I know I'm trying to make a change in the playoffs after we just went through an entire season of hearing this song twice a night, sometimes 3 times a night. Like, I understand this, okay? But when you've heard it over 60 times like I have so far in this, look, any father knows right now, as great as of a person that Taylor Swift is, when you have to hear one of her songs 60 times, you may want to go a little insane yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's gonna take the mantle though? That's the biggest question right now. The Road Hammers are at number 1. I'll say that. I'll send that over.
Road Hammers are the leader.
But Joe, we got more to talk about than just the Havoc. Even though we're going to be talking more of Havoc throughout the week, because they're going to continue on with their playoff run.
Yeah, Steve Smith is Steve Smith. We were trying to get this over to him so that we can get that Zamboni song changed.
Okay.
Steve Moulton is going to be in here in the morning doing Talking Ball with Drew.
Yeah.
And then right when this show wraps up, he's heading to Evansville.
Yeah, he's going to be on his horse. He's
going to be going up there for the game because that game is going. We also, by the way, before we talk about what you want to, thank you, the season ticket holders, for helping Steve out on this. And I mean, I know a lot of you guys were there last night. I know you've been getting together with this bus and everything that's been going on, but thank you for getting it where Steve can hop on this thing and travel up to Evansville.
No
with you
doubt.
guys.
No doubt about it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're just happy that we get to continue this journey with the Havoc as well as all of our teams that we cover here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And you guys can also hop in on the conversation. We've been talking a lot of Havoc. We also talked with Coach LeBlanc from Westminster Christian Academy. But, Joe, it's time to get our minds off of the ice for a second.
How?
I know you're still riding that high from last
Dude,
night.
I tried to talk to you about Jackson Arnold. It still went back to the Havoc game.
Because you kept bringing it back.
Because Jeremiah did this at the hockey game, and he almost got boarded for it.
Look, when Jalen Milroe's name is in the news, it's either something really good or it's really bad. Right now, we're in a kind of a gray area. Because yesterday, you got mad at me about the comments that I made going into Jackson Arnold in his first season with Auburn. Jalen Milroe picking up a lot of steam. The only comments I get out of this is from Jordan Schultz from Fox Sports.
That's methane.
He said, Milroe's name has been gaining steam in recent weeks. On top of that, he's been meeting with teams. The Cleveland Browns, to be specific, got to meet with him.
That would be a team that would take him.
That would be a team that would take him. And they'd probably find more success than with Deshaun Watson. Are you flicking me off? You better stop.
Oh, I don't mean to be doing that. I actually am just doing this to my eye because I'm trying to not poke it out right now.
I'm going to give you multiple stories, Joe, and you can pick and choose. Man pleads guilty to selling more than $250K in fake memorabilia. This opens up a question to the listeners. What is your favorite or most rare piece of memorabilia that you've got in your collection? 256-576-97.7. Joe, pick your head up.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening right now. Actually, no, it just hit me. I hit the wall. I just hit the wall. I'm going to need the pancake or the waffle here in just a second.
Oh, you'll have the pancake and all that stuff. Well,
No.
the last story.
What's the options
that I want to throw at you is thousands of intimate images found in hacking investigation of former NFL and Michigan coach Joe Matt Weiss is screwed.
I already had to listen to this with Tom yesterday.
Tom talked about it?
Yes, he talked about it yesterday.
How many?
I'm not
Did he tell you about all the images? How many
Yes.
images?
Yes.
2,000. Over 2,000 athletes.
Yeah, no.
As well as more than 1,300 students or alum.
Dude, I
from
said no to
schools
the
across
story.
The USA.
Like I said no to it. You don't have to keep going with it.
Which one are you picking, Joe?
You're gonna make- I'm going to do what every NFL team should not do, and that's pick Jalen Milroe. Give me the Jalen Milroe story. Just ruin that high that I've been on for like the last 12 hours.
He's been meeting with lined up teams. He's got lined up meetings with the Giants, the Rams, Seattle Seahawks. Joe, he's picking up steam, and I don't think we can stop this train.
Oh, no, again, it's methane.
Is he turning into a round 2 pick? Is
No.
he even going to be a late first round pick? Who freaking knows?
Any person that drafts this man in the first 2 rounds should be fired.
But do you think that
No.
there is something to have
No.
in Jalen Milroe on your roster
No.
in the professional football league?
Yes, there is. You put him on the football field, you tell him to take a few snaps, then you look at your other quarterbacks and be like, don't do that. Jalen, thank you for your time. That's what you do.
Here's $13,000.
Yeah, here's $13,000 to show my quarterbacks that I'm paying hundreds of millions of dollars to what not to do on a football field.
Joe, the Saints hosted Milroe for a private workout. In both sessions with him, the Saints in Cleveland, they said, impressive.
That's the only word they used.
As a quarterback, this is a quarterback that he doesn't want to be anything else. You can't tell a cheetah to be a zebra, as he says. But
You
as
can
a
also
quarterback,
tell a zebra that he's not a cheetah, even though he continues to think he's a cheetah.
I just
He
can
has
we
an identity
maybe
crisis.
see the quarterback position completely change with a team and find success instead of like Lamar Jackson?
We could see a team that drafts him potentially move way up in next year's draft. We could absolutely see that. If you right now, basically, here's the PSA. If you hate your franchise, if you have ever thought about potentially wanting to be the number 1 overall pick because you enjoy taking phone calls from a lot of general managers and feeling really special, and every single agent in the NFL contacting you to let them know how great their player would be for you, draft Jalen Milroe, because he will get you there next year. If this is what you're wanting, if this is the lifestyle that you are wanting right now, where you are like the Titans and every single second of the day, you've got a new person contacting you, letting you know about why player Y should be the number 1 overall pick. And you can't even sit down to enjoy dinner at night because your phone continues to blow up with all these people telling you about how amazing their player is. Draft Jalen Milroe. Please do that. You actually won't make it to next year's draft because you will be fired.
2,844 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. From what I'm seeing, that's still better than what Anthony Richardson did at Florida a year before he got drafted.
And that man got
in the top
that man
5.
got replaced by somebody that is seriously about to go be a senior citizen discount at the Waffle House. Okay, like that. He got replaced by Joe Flacco. Okay, and Joe Flacco was sitting on his couch. He's feet up.
He wasn't
at
last
the house.
season.
He was like this right here, watching the Masters,
No.
whatever PGA tournament goes on during football season, sitting here hanging out with his kids, like, oh, hey, kids, we got football practice. And then he gets this phone call. Hey, you want to be our quarterback?
726 yards.
I don't know.
Running the ball.
Got a guy on the other line that's interested in some white walls. I'll have to get back with you.
You pair him with a coach.
You still don't know where that line's from, dude. You still
Consistently.
have never seen the movie.
Which one are you talking about? You talking about Major League?
That was another line from Major League.
Joe, I have not watched Major League 70 times like you have. I've watched it. I haven't watched it 1,000 times where I know every single line from it.
It's a part in the movie where literally a Major League Baseball team calls a guy and wants to give him in the managerial spot on their team. And he's like, gotta think about it. That was Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco was ready to play last season. The year before, that's when he was sitting on the couch with his family, contemplating his career moving forward. When he found success with the Cleveland Browns and took them to the playoffs, that all changed. He found a rebirth in his career. That's not going to happen with the Colts. But you know what the Colts did?
It's like stem cell replacement.
They started Joe Flacco to give some guidance to Anthony Richardson. You know who didn't have any guidance at Alabama after Nick Saban left? Jalen Milroe. 2 days in a row.
He has guidance.
No.
It's just not the right kind.
2 days in a row, Joe, we've talked about this. Quarterbacks that have the ability to do something. And you're looking at me and you're thinking, oh, these quarterbacks are done. They're not going to do anything. One, I get, because you have no faith in your own football team. Auburn, or is it Tennessee? I'll never know.
It doesn't matter. No. I know which one is actually good and has a good head coach and which one of them is horrific.
Okay.
It's not the one that's in blue and orange.
The other one, Jalen Milroe. Take him to an NFL organization, build him up. Takes 2 years. Look at him now. He could be Lamar Jackson 2.0. He could be Jalen Milroe 1.0, something different in the NFL. Something that teams can rely on, not just with the passing game, because obviously he'd keep it on the long ball, but running the ball more consistent. It'd be a totally different type of offense, even compared to what we're seeing in Baltimore. These are conversations to be had, Joe. Some would say conversations from above. It's a shout out to my buddy's old podcast.
Okay. Please explain to me what skill set and skills Jalen Milroe will bring to an organization.
Speed, strength.
That will cause them to go from being one of the teams that were out of the playoffs last year to in the playoffs this year.
You put them on the Browns, and this is just me throwing them at the Browns. You put them on the Saints. Obviously, the Saints, it'll take a little bit more time, but that's fine because he's got a quarterback to look up to, that he can teach him to pass the football. On top of that, you put him on the Browns. He's got Deshaun Watson. I wouldn't want that, honestly. But it's still a guy that when he was first started out in the NFL, he was a stud. Very similar to Jalen Milroe. Big body, not afraid to run into a wall. And hey, you know what? He was a playmaker. Joe, that's what I see. You add on a guy like him, he changes your organization completely with the athleticism that he has. It doesn't matter if he's a quarterback or running back or whatever he is. It's the same thing with Alvin Kamara. You get a guy that is this talented, this athletic, then you can find a way to work him within the organization. And you do not want to miss out on that if you're in the second round and you're thinking, I might just get this linebacker that's pretty good. Instead, get a playmaker on the offense.
So the first thing that you brought up is the speed.
440. It's 40-yard dash.
Okay. The top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL in rushing are who?
Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Josh Allen.
No.
No, Josh Allen's not up there?
No. He was number 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually have no idea.
I mean, honestly, you were singing his praises all season long. I would think that you would remember him. Jaden Daniels.
Oh, yeah, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels rushed for 891 yards last season.
Doesn't matter how good the Commanders do, Joe. You're always going to forget about him at the end of the season.
Lamar Jackson rushed for 915 yards. Do you know who the number 3 quarterback in the NFL in rushing was last year?
Jalen Hurts.
That is correct. 630 yards.
There you go.
So one of those quarterbacks has made it deep into the playoffs, into a Super Bowl, and is now a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
The other quarterback, which led the NFL and is now, winning the MVP awards, has also made runs into the playoffs. And then you have Jaden Daniels, who just made the playoffs for the very first time.
Joe, you don't get it. This is not the same type of quarterback that you would utilize in this way, especially now when he first starts out. This is a quarterback that if you pair him with a guy out in New Orleans, you've got your dude. Carr's going to throw the ball around. Then you have a special set for a dude like Jalen Milroe. That's when you put him in. Give your running back some more life by given the quarterback a little bit of life in the form of Jalen Milroe, who's more of a quarterback 2 and running back 1. That's how I would look at it. I think you give more reps
I mean, if you combine
to the
those
rest of your
numbers, I
team.
would put that there. 21's good.
Mark Ingram coming into the
No,
NFL.
I mean, as in on the depth chart. He's 21st on the depth chart in the quarterback room. That's where he should be right now. Okay. Because the other quarterback that you would say would have some similar speed would be a Kyler Murray.
Yes. He doesn't have the size nor the strength.
No, he's a toothpick, and he weighs barely 200 pounds. But
no, he's just small. I don't think he's a toothpick. If there's a toothpick, that's going to be Jaden Daniels.
I mean, he weighs like 205 pounds, and he's 5'10". There's, again, some team is going to be dumb enough to try this. They're going to, because they're going to want him to be this guy.
Don't think he's going to be dumb.
I can guarantee you right now, Jalen Milroe will never start an NFL game in the playoffs. Jalen Milroe will never start a full season in the NFL. Jalen Milroe will never
You're thinking
ever
about
be
this.
QB1.
You're thinking about it too plain. You're thinking about it like NFL teams have got to start this guy for him to make an impact. That's what you're thinking about.
Name a backup quarterback in the NFL that's ever made an impact.
Tyler Huntley.
Doing what?
Baltimore Ravens. Help them out.
One time. One game.
Multiple times.
It was
He
one.
had to start for a few games. And again, he's a quarterback that I would also compare to Jalen Milroe.
But I'm saying game changer. Game changer. As in, like, even like the only argument you can make would be possibly Tim Tebow.
I was actually about to say
that's possibly the only
Steve
decision.
Young. Steve Young.
Steve Young.
There you go. There's another one.
Steve Young became a Hall of Famer.
And
okay, let's take the phone call. We'll turn around. We'll take phone calls when we come back as we wrap up the Blitz. 97.7 ESPN The Zone, WZZN TV, everywhere that you are able to listen and or watch the Blitz. We'll continue in just a moment.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. And Newmarket, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 2190 County Road 65 very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Newmarket.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo. I want money! You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
So before we go to the phone lines, I want to clarify my question with you because the way I phrased it, I thought to myself, all right, let me think about this. When I say name another backup quarterback that made an impact, even when we talked about Tim Tebow, he took over as the starting quarterback.
Yes.
You were talking about Jalen Milroe as a changeup to the starting quarterback, not taking over
I got you.
the starting quarterback.
Okay, I got
right?
one name for you then.
So no, and I want to clarify. That's what we're talking about is another quarterback in the NFL that was that change-up piece that would get brought in for those situations and be able to be successful with the number one guy still there. That's what I'm saying.
Taysom Hill. There you go. There's that. That's the one that I could throw at you. That's probably why the Saints are looking at him. Bama Big Rick's on with us. Bama Big Rick, how you doing, man? Bama Big Rick.
Okay, I'm not going to address the question. My question is, my point I want to bring up. You guys, specifically the one guy on this call here, is looking at Jalen Milroe like he's some type of scrap metal as a quarterback. This guy had 3 coordinators in 3 years. 3 different coordinators. He took him to the playoffs, threw for almost 3,000 yards with a makeshift line.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to let's go through Alabama. Even when Nick was there, they don't develop quarterbacks. No, even Mac Jones. Look what happened to Mac. Go back to AJ. Going back all the years, it hasn't been a priority. We had the same conversation about Jalen Hurts when he was going into the pros. He never make it. Tua would be much better. He leaves, go to Oklahoma. Boom, almost 4,000 yards. Super Bowl champ. It's called development. You think an NFL team cannot fix the little technical issues that Jalen has?
So what if the quarterback doesn't want to get fixed?
How do you know that? Why wouldn't an athlete not want to get fixed?
I'm just saying that there are things that we have been told that there's reasons why.
No, but how do you know that an NFL person cannot change the person?
Because the person doesn't want to be changed.
He's not that far off. And you look at what he had. Let's look at his wide receivers. Let's look at it. Let's compare what Mac Jones had, offensive line and receivers versus what Jalen had. 1 receiver this year, and he's a 17-year-old. Offensive line, they couldn't block. 0 running game. And let's go back to Mac Jones. Let's look at what Mac had. First-round draft picks on the offensive line. 3 or 4 receivers out there in the NFL. You got to look at it like that. Even go back to AJ. I mean, look what they surrounded this guy with.
Mm-hmm.
And even the play calling was so horrible. All those draws, all those, come on, guys. I mean, you got to get a guy, hey, he dropped the ball on a lot of things. Trust me. He can work on his short, intermediate passes. But to say he can't be a quarterback or start in the NFL, look at Minshew and my Raiders versus Jalen Milroe. Who would you take? Come on, man. Come on, let's look at it.
I take Garner Minshew over Jalen any day.
Oh my God! Okay,
come on.
Oh man, come on.
And here's the reason. Here's the reason why. Also, there's no universe that you can put Jalen Milroe and Hurts in the same conversation. There's no universe that you can put those. Those are 2 totally different players, 2 totally different players in the locker room, 2 totally different players in coachability.
Bama Big Rick, man, I'm on your side, bro. I think there is definitely a future for Milroe.
Right. We beat our drum around this guy in Jacksonville, right? Oh, he's the next Montana. He gets 40, 16 a year. He plays like trash in the NFL. He's trash. You tell me Milroe could not perform like that?
Is he talking about Mac
15
Jones?
touchdowns and 18 interceptions.
Mac Jones shouldn't have been drafted where he was drafted.
No, I'm not talking about Mac. We're talking about the starter for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You're talking about Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
Sunshine. Look at his stats.
Sunshine is 4 times the quarterback Jalen Milroe ever will be.
Hey, we're running.
Okay, so let's pull his stats up then. 15 touchdowns and 18 interceptions?
It's not about the numbers. It's literally it's the quarterback. Oh my heavens!
You know what?
Oh my God!
We're running out of time. We appreciate you, Bama Big Rig.
That's asinine to absolutely even try to put Jalen Milroe in the same conversation with Trevor Lawrence or Jalen Hurts.
No. I said you don't think he can perform like he performed last year. That's what I'm saying.
No, what I'm saying is that right now there is no team on earth that would have Jalen Milroe as their starting quarterback and even be able to get to the playoffs, let alone not be a team that's drafting in the top 10, maybe the top 5 next year. He is awful.
One more time, you don't think he could have performed just like Trevor Lawrence did this year, which was trash?
Trevor Lawrence was injured half the season. So if you're telling me a Trevor Lawrence with a guy that's needing Tommy John surgery over a healthy Jalen Milroe, then yes, I take Jalen Milroe. It's a one-legged butt kicking competition that you're telling me to play in.
No. You're making excuses. What about the year before when Trevor performed horrible?
Trevor Lawrence has led his team to the playoffs in multiple seasons. He led Clemson to multiple national championships. He is sitting there and he has been able to change the game for multiple schools and multiple NFL teams. The only reason Jacksonville is even considered to be a halfway decent team is because of Trevor Lawrence.
Bama Big Rick, man, we appreciate it. We gotta.
All right, man.
If you call back in tomorrow, we'll continue this conversation a little bit more. That's been the Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe, get yourself like an Advil or something like that. I don't know.
I just need to buy TVs for people.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fired grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes. Have a special event? Elevate your catering with Carrabba's Catering, the perfect way to enjoy large party portions of your favorite hand-prepared dishes for any event. Carrabba's Italian Grill at Parkway Place, Huntsville.
This is